What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Bu Built YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Dylan. This is my 4Runner, and I'm swapping twin traction beams onto. If you haven't seen part one, I cut and extended both the passenger and the driver side beams. In today's video, I'm going to be adding plating on the outside and setting up the radius arm mounts. As you can see here, the driver side beam has extensive plating and reinforcement. I'll cut to a picture of what a stock Dana 44 beam looks like, but all of this is plated with 3/16 and some of it's quarter, and all the bottom has extensive plating. And this is a 4130 overlay plate to make sure the extension is super strong. So if you can actually tell, this is the stock beam, and under this is the stock beam. This is the stock beam, but everything else is plating. And I smoothed out the outside, blended it all in, and then left these exposed tigs right here. But it's all blended in, looks like a stock beam. I was going for the look of a stock beam, nothing crazy, nothing Mad Maxy, but adding all the structure and reinforcement I need. So what I'm gonna do is do that exact same thing on the passenger side beam. Oh yeah, and here's a good reference. You can see it just goes straight to the extension. There's no overlays, no nothing. And this side is gonna look like that side shortly. The reason I need to do so much external plating is these joints, if you saw in part one, these joints are just butt welded with a good bevel or chamfer. But I don't feel comfortable, and it's not strong enough just to run like this. I ground down all the welds just so I can add the overlay extension plates right here. And they're all 4130 chromoly, so it's going to be super strong, but just running it like this isn't strong enough. If you can see there, that's where the radius arm is going to mount, and that's going to act as an overlay plate as well. And I'll show you on this side, it's all blended in, so you can see it back there. Radius arm mount, all blended in, all one big flowy piece. So here's the 4130 overlay plate. It's gonna lay about like that. I need to trim off the end. I drew this in the computer, and you can see down there, there's a bunch of bumps and radiuses. So what I ended up doing on this side is just cutting it right here, welding this piece in first, and then I'm gonna re-weld this in and massage it to the surface and get it all at the angles it needs to be. But that's the overlay plate. And I'll start by TIG welding this all in to the passenger beam, and then plating the bottom, plating the top, and then blending it all in, making it look like nothing happened, like over there. All right, here we go. So first things first, need to remove these. I just tacked them in place so I could cycle everything and test fit it and make sure that was around when I needed. These plates were actually going to work, but they totally are. So I'm going to cut this off so I can TIG weld back sides with overlay plates. Alright, so I just cut off the ends of this piece from right there. So now it'll sit perfectly flush. I need to trim a little more. I knew in the computer I built this oversized because I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do with this section. But the other side I figured out exactly what I need to do. So I need to trim a little bit off here, a little bit off there, and it's gonna be perfect. And you can see, so you see this meaty piece of the chromoly, it is right in line with where the extension piece was. So you can see the weld, and the meaty piece is right there. So this is covering the weld seam, and I'm gonna weld on each side, and it's gonna reinforce it like crazy. right, so I got this edges trimmed off, ground down, ready to weld. Got the surface prepped. First thing, I'm gonna go fill these holes because put this on there. You can see them, doesn't look very good. I'll fill those, grind them down, and then get it tacked in and start TIG welding. And I'll check back in then. All right, so I got it all tacked in, and if you can tell, it's mostly level. Right here on the end of the beam, it starts to come up, so there's a baby little gap. So I'm gonna put in the vise, clamp that down, tack it in place, and then start welding it out. What's up, guys? So unfortunately I ran out of argon for the TIG, so I gotta take a pause on this, and I am gonna start working on upper shock mounts. I designed these on Fusion 360, and obviously got the guys at Send Cut Send, get them cut out, and that's about what it's gonna look like. It's gonna sit right up in there, just like that. I still need to clean up some of these tubes, but just for mock-up, it's gonna be like that. I'm gonna get the coilover in and get the beams in, or get the driver beam in and start to cycle it, see how it looks. All right, got it all set up in there. All right, I got coilover mounts tacked in place, all squared up, and I put, here, I'll show you the bottom too on the beam. Looks like that. And I put the fenders, oh, I gotta close the hood. But I put the fenders and hood on everything to film a Instagram video. So I thought, might as well show you guys too. Oh, it's gonna look pretty good when it's all said and done. But yeah, got the mounts tacked in place. I'm gonna cycle it a couple more times, and I'm gonna burn it all in. Driver's side, we're pretty much done. I gotta keep working on the passenger side beam. And then, yeah, go from there. Got steering, and then swapping all the spindle stuff. All right, I'm gonna get back to work. What's up, guys? Today's a new day, and I am gonna continue plating the passenger side beam, and then I am going to continue getting the coilovers mounted up. This is a little sneak peek. I got the driver's side tacked in place for a video, and I'll walk you guys through that and show you everything I did and show you on the passenger side. Yeah, last night I got the lower radius arm tacked in place and welded in. Takes a while to get the alignment right and make sure it's perfectly in line with the other side and perfectly straight. So I got that one done last night, but I will walk you guys through the top one and show you all the rest of the plating that's going to go on. But first things first, I need to get the back 4130 chromoly gusset plate over so I can weld everything before I get this part on the top. So I'm gonna get that plate tacked in place, tigged all up, and I'll go from there. Welded in, got the radius arm mounts on the top and bottom welded. I didn't want to bore you guys. It's really simple. Just line up the bolt, measure the distance out, weld it in. Not rocket science, but got the radius arm mounts in, bolt the overlay plates in the front and back set. So now what I'm gonna do is, let's see, I gotta position this. So now, let's see. 2 weld seams right there. And while I don't mind how that looks, it actually looks pretty good. I'm going for a pretty OEM plus look, in the sense I don't want it to be super obvious these have insane plating. You know, the whole point 4Runner to me is to be super clean, super low key, not Mad Maxy at all. I want it to be as low key as possible while still doing all the things I want it to do. I mean, it's my daily driver after all. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add another weld right in between 2 welds. Not really for strength, it might add a little strength, but it's so I can grind it down and make it a smooth surface like all this. So that was what I'm gonna do over there, and blend it all in like, is that gonna fall? No, like this beam right here. So obviously this beam had all the same plating, but all smoothed down, perfectly flush. The OEM plus look. Future, I might design a fabricated set of twin traction beams, which would have all exposed MIG welds, and I think that would be super, super sweet. But for now, I want this to be an OEM plus look, so I will take you guys along. So, as I said, I need to weld that seam in between the 2 welds so I can blend it, but also I need to continue plating all the way back. You can see back here, it's just exposed welds as well, so I'll need to do a little welding and be able to blend that. And I'm gonna add another plate all the way on top of here, so everything is double walled, double plated, but you won't be able to tell. And the reason for that is these beams are super thin. You can see it's just thin walled 3/16. There's not a ton of structure here. So people bend these all the time. People bend them on stock Broncos, let alone on big things like this, and I'm planning on jumping. So it needs all the plating it can get, so that's what I'm doing. Take you guys along. Alright, so up first, I'm going to cut out the piece to fill in this, to continue plating this. And how I'm going to do that, so I'm going to take this cardboard, I'm going to cut out my shape, and then draw it on a piece of metal and cut it out. If you guys haven't seen this before, I will show you how. If you have, stay tuned. So to start, I just cut out a rough shape of what I need. There's no reason to get it perfect right now. You just want to get a big enough piece that you can cut out what you need to. Boom, big enough piece. All right, so then what we're gonna do is I am gonna trim down whatever excess. So where is my pen? All right, so from the bottom, I'm gonna kind of set this in place, and from the bottom, I am going to follow along, trace along, just to get the rough shape set up. Just so we can start trimming off the excess. That's good right there. Hold it tight. So the best way to do this is to set your piece in place, and you're going to trace the bottom of it just to get a rough outline, so then we can start fine tuning. I'm going to start with that. Just put it down, push hard so it doesn't move. Just start to trace the outside. All right, so you see general shape. Next, I am going to cut this out. So now, let's see, okay. So we have rough shape. This needs a bunch of refining to be the right shape, but we're starting to get there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with the bottom here. And let's just mark. So what do I do? Let's say about there, straight line. And then from here to about there. Let's start with all right, there we go. We're getting closer. Boom. All right. So now we're starting to get there. All right, let's see. So on this side, what we want, straight line. Okay. Straight. All right, so now we have a piece, sits on there nicely. Be a good top gusset plate. So now I got those pieces traced out in this piece of metal from my piece of cardboard. Now I'm gonna get those cut out and should fit pretty well. All right, here are the plates that I cut out. So from the stencil or whatever you want to call it, I cut out, and yeah, fit great right there. Boom. So now I'm gonna grind it all down, smooth the edges, get a good weld surface, get a good weld prep, and then tack it up, bend it in place. Do it from the top and bottom. All right, got it all beat into place, follows the curvature, and now I'm gonna get it all welded and blend it all in. Oof, this is gonna be good. What's up, guys? Today's a new day, and I am going to be mounting the coilover. So I just took out the air filter down there, got it cut out, and now I need to cut out the old bump stop mount and then some of the tubes that laced back in there, because the coilover needs to sit right through there. Follow along. You'll check it out here. Here's a sneak peek preview for the side. Got it tacked in place. all set up. Gonna be doing the same thing on this side. All right, so I got the lower shock mount all tacked in, all ready to weld. The upper is all tacked in, ready to weld. I'm gonna burn this in. All right, I got both sides all welded up. I'm gonna put the coilovers in, get everything back together. I gotta get it painted first actually, but starting to look good. All right, I'm back working on the shock towers. So made this top plate and get in there. That's gonna go just like that. Box it all in, make it super strong. I'm gonna burn that in right now. I'll set up a GoPro. Unfortunately, during this clip, my GoPro ran out of storage, but in the next clip, I'll show you guys the finished product. All right, here's the finished product. Sneak peek of next video. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Follow along for part 3, where I get the wheels on this thing and get it driving for real.